I'm Chef Sharon, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to begin talking about cooking techniques, starting with sauté. So let's get started. I've got two sauté pans here heating up, non-stick and stainless steel. You can use whichever you have. The non-stick pan I have over medium, because I don't like to put a super high heat under this pan. Stainless steel I have over medium-high. So when you're talking about sauté, you want to start with a good amount of heat. You want your product to be dry, and you want to use not a lot of oil. We're not talking about frying here, but enough oil to give yourself a thin coat on the bottom of the pan. So I'm going to start. I've just got an everyday olive oil here. Add a little of this pan, and I add a little of this pan. Now we want these to get hot before we've put the food in. Now reason we want our food dry is because wet food will steam, and steam is the enemy of browning. And we want to get some nice color on both our chicken and our vegetables today. So I have a chicken breast here that I am just going to salt and a little pepper. I also have the tenderloin. I took off the breast to cook that separately. And then I also have some red bell pepper and onion, like we chopped earlier, and a little bit of zucchini to do my sauté. So you'll know when your pan is ready. You'll see the olive oil is starting to move around. I'm not really seeing a shimmer yet, so I'm going to let that go a little bit longer. This pan's going to take a little bit longer to heat because I have it on a lower heat than the other one. So we're just going to let that be for a second. So now I'm starting to see a little shimmer on the surface of my oil, and that's telling me that my food, it's ready for my food. So I'm going to take my chicken and I'm going to put this in seasoned side down first. And I'm going to put it facing away from me, so if the oil were to splash a little bit, it's going to splash in that direction, not towards me. So there we've got a nice sizzle. That's what we want to see. Put this little piece in here. And now we're just going to let it be. That's one thing about cooking, is patience is key. And we want to let that sit, and we're going to develop a nice golden color on the first side. I'm going to season this side now. And now, this pan should be about ready to start our vegetables. Now I'm going to start with the harder vegetables first. That means the onion and bell pepper. These are going to take longer to cook. Zucchini has quite a bit of water in it, so it doesn't take nearly as long to cook. So I'm going to test here. I'm going to put in a little bit of my onion. And my bell pepper. Now what I'm not going to do right away with the vegetables is I'm not going to season them right away. Salt helps draw out water, which if you're trying to sweat your vegetables, that is helpful. But I want a sauté, and I want a little bit of color. So like I said, water, steam, the enemy of browning. So I'm not going to put any kind of salt in here yet because I don't want to draw out the liquid. So back to our chicken. Now this little piece is going to cook faster. So I'm going to look, and you can see got some lovely color on there. So I just turn that over, and you'll know when your food is ready to flip over because it will release. Now this chicken, this big piece, this is still sticking a little bit, so I'm just going to let it be. Another thing you might want to have handy if you're unaccustomed to cooking chicken or it scares you a little bit is an instant read thermometer. This will tell you exactly when your chicken is done. You don't have to worry about it, and you won't have to overcook it. So just to show you, I'm going to temp this little one. Now this is only showing about 110 degrees so far, so that's obviously not cooked. Chicken needs to be cooked to 165 degrees. So I'm going to clean this off and we're going to check in on our vegetables. Now we're getting some sizzling. I'm just going to saute these until the onion starts to look a little translucent. It's starting to smell really good in here. So there we go. Now I'm going to check on this piece of chicken. And you can see, lifted right off. And look at that beautiful color. Now, this is going to take a few more minutes to cook, so we'll come back then. Okay, it's been a couple of minutes. I flipped my chicken back over. You can see I've gotten some nice color on the second side. I did take out the little piece at temp 165. Perfectly done. Now also, I've started to get some color on my vegetables, and I'm going to add my zucchini at this point. And again, this is where patience becomes your best friend. Just going to get that settled in there a little bit, because I want to get some nice color on this zucchini. So again, I'm not going to salt it, just kind of spread it out in an even layer. And we're going to let it sit. Now I'm going to temp this big chicken breast. Now you know chicken breasts are kind of thicker on one end, thinner on the other. So you always want to temp the thick end. So right now this is at about 125 degrees in the center of the thick end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the heat down to low, and I'm going to put a lid on this. This is going to trap some steam. We already have our color, so we don't have to worry about it ruining the color or not getting color. And it's going to help me cook that all the way through without overcooking the outside. Now these vegetables are sizzling along nicely, so we're going to give those another minute and we'll check on them. Alright, it's been a couple of minutes, so let's check on our vegetables. Give them a little toss here, and yeah, I'm starting to get some lovely color on the zucchini, and that's what I want to see. So now that I've gotten some color, I am going to add a little salt. And you could add a lot of different seasonings to this. I'm just going to do a little salt and pepper, but if you were going to add garlic, this is when you would do it. You want to add it at the very end. Garlic doesn't really need in a saute more than 30 seconds or a minute, just until you can smell it. So now let's check on our chicken. It's beautifully brown, and I am going to temp this thick end, and I am at 162 degrees. So what I am going to do is now I'm going to allow some carryover heat to finish that off. I'm going to turn my pan off. I've got my lid on, and I'm just going to let the heat of the pan carry that the last 2 degrees. You can see I already took my little piece out. It was done a few minutes ago. So now I have my lovely sauteed vegetables and my chicken. Okay, so there you have it. Simple, easy techniques for cooking meat and vegetables just with your saute pan, and you have a lovely, easy meal. Thanks for joining me back here in my kitchen. I'll see you next time. Bye!